Welcome to the panel discussion on further education. My name is Aisha D'Souza. I'll be moderating. I'm a contributor to Dutch Buzz, which is an English-speaking radio program which caters specifically to internationals living in The Hague. Now, in this discussion, we'll be looking at the different options available to students in higher education in our city of The Hague. We'll also be touching on the difference between a university and a so-called hogeschool. We'll be looking at the future of further education and also talking about what it's like to be a student in The Hague. I have two panelists online today. The first is Dr. Manon Pieper-Swanstra. She is the MBA Program Manager at The Hague Graduate School, which is affiliated to The Hague University of Applied Sciences. Manon holds a doctorate in business administration from the University of Liverpool and a master in European studies from the University of Amsterdam. Manon Pieper is no stranger to the expat life herself, having studied and worked abroad, including in Qatar from 2009 to 2017. Welcome, Manon Pieper.
Thank you.
My second panelist is Carolyn Barr. Carolyn is the International Relations Officer at Leiden University, where she guides prospective international bachelor and master's students through the decision process in choosing the next step in their academic career. She's worked in recruitment and marketing within the higher education field since 2005 in the British, American, and Dutch systems, I believe. Carolyn is originally from Canada, and she moved to the Netherlands 15 years ago. Welcome, Carolyn. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me today.
Now, I'm going to start by asking you, Manon Pieper, what are some of the options for non-Dutch students in The Hague?
Well, I think there are a lot of options to study, especially if you're looking for professional education. At The Hague University, we offer a variety of professional courses, bachelor programs, part-time bachelor programs, as well as master's programs. There are about 3 international masters that we offer. The MBA, Master of Business Administration, the Master in Financial Management and Control, and the Master in International Communication Management. Mm-hmm. And of course, these are courses and programs for people who have already started their careers, who are at mid-level positions. But there are also many full-time programs for younger students.
Okay, thank you, Manon. Carolyn, the University of Leiden is obviously based in Leiden, but it does have a campus in The Hague. Which courses of the University of Leiden are taught in The Hague?
Yeah, actually, we have quite a number of programs that are taught in The Hague. We've been there for over 20 years now as our campus, The Hague, with over 6,300 students. So it's quite a sizable representation from the university. And all the programs that we offer there, whether they're bachelor, master, PhD, or even the research that we do, are really tied into sort of all those themes of The Hague, of course. You know, you've got peace, justice, security, these kinds of themes. So the programs we chose to have there reflect that. So we have 5 English taught bachelor programs that are available there. We have the International Studies program, which is bringing all of our areas of humanities together in one program. Mm-hmm. We have the Political Science program, which is International Relations and Organizations, which is one of our selective numerus fixus programs. We have Security Studies, which is all about security threats to the world. We have the Urban Studies program, which is a newer program about cities, and it really meshes well with all of the themes of The Hague and the different opportunities The Hague offers. And we have our Liberal Arts and Sciences College, which is Leiden University College, The Hague, right in the center there. They offer different programs in global challenges, very interdisciplinary and community focused. Mm-hmm. And it's our residential honors college. And they actually do partner with the Royal Conservatory as well for some programs there. And then we have a number of master programs. There's 12 regular master programs and 3 advanced LLM or advanced law masters that we have there. Again, all in these areas, anything from public administration, different types of law, political science, crisis and security management, cybersecurity, governance of sustainability.
So very much related to
many.
The city of peace and justice. So all very related. So that's you,
Absolutely.
you mentioned the Royal Conservatoire as well, because there are other options available to students: music, dance, fine arts. There are many things going on in The Hague, but can you tell me, Manon, about there's collaboration between the different institutions? What form does that take in practice?
A few years ago, we signed an agreement amongst our institutes to collaborate more in terms of enhancing education within the city of The Hague.
Mm-hmm.
So this takes form in different kinds of projects that we do together, development of new programs, but also a little bit of research.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you give examples at all on your side, Carolyn, of collaboration?
Sure, absolutely. Of course, some of that even just comes down to shared sports facilities, for example, and doing things like we're doing today, Manon and I. Often it comes down to sort of connecting study programs. So having what they say in Dutch, a doorstroom traject, or allowing bachelor students, for example, from a University of Applied Science to apply to some of the bachelor and master programs at a research university. Mm-hmm. I know that we have a shared sort of master in cybersecurity and research there. I think there's more combinations of that kind of option with the Hague University of Applied Sciences students, starting in our international studies or going into public administration, even the ICT and business, these kinds of things. So there's a lot of academics, but there's also research. So there's a shared professorship or chair with Elena O'Malley, and lots of like city labs and research going on together as well. So, and I think that will continue certainly in the coming decade for sure.
Does that include social events as well? Do they organize things like that together between the students?
It is highly possible. I'm going to say, I'm not sure, Manon, I'm not sure if you know, but I do know The Hague is a student city. So I do know that, for example, my student assistants certainly play sports with students from the Hague University of Applied Sciences, and I'm sure they must do many other things together, but I'm not sure of anything official that's done. But there's so much going on.
Well, of course, there's the annual introduction week as well, which sort of spans the whole city of The Hague. Of course, last year it didn't take place due to the crisis that we're in, COVID. But in previous years, you'd see students from all different kinds of universities and educational institutes just roam the city, which is really, every year it's a great influx of students and events and a big celebration of education and student life, basically. So both students of Leiden as well as the Hague University are present.
Manon, you work for the University of Applied Sciences, which is known as a hogeschool in Dutch. Can you explain the difference between a university and a University of Applied Sciences?
Yeah, basically there are two types of universities in the Netherlands, a so-called research university as well as an applied sciences university. And traditionally these have basically have a different focus. So if you are looking for a program that is a little bit more professionally oriented, or a program more tailored towards a certain career, then you'd go to a University of Applied Sciences. However, if you are looking for more academically rigorous kind of education, you would go to a research university.
Okay, thank you. I just want to remind anybody watching, you are most welcome to send in questions through the chat for either of our panelists if you want to find out more about studying in The Hague. Now, moving on. And this question is actually, I'm going to direct it at Manon because you represent the graduate school. Are foreign undergraduate degrees easily recognized by the graduate school? And what kind of, do students sometimes come across difficulties in getting their degrees recognized before they can have a place offered to them?
Well, all of our incoming students are need to have a certain a recognized degree. So, for example, if you're going for a bachelor's program such as international business, you need to have a recognized degree such as a baccalaureate or an IB, international baccalaureate might help. If you go for a master's program, the bachelor's degree that you've done beforehand also needs to be recognized, and if you are unsure whether or not it will be acknowledged, then you can check the website called NUFFIC, NUFFIC, where all of the recognized degrees are listed. And basically, students who are coming in for an international degree, whatever level, need to show a proficiency in English, and this can be demonstrated by terms of a TOEFL test or IELTS test, IELTS, which also can be done online. So you have to have a certain English proficiency.
Right.
And of course, we will meet all of our students beforehand, before joining, just to make sure that it's the right match with the program. So every year we have about 13% international students coming in at the Hague University of Applied Sciences. And bachelor's programs, besides the master's programs that I've just mentioned, is we also offer European studies, industrial design and engineering in English, but also sports or safety and security. So there's a wide range of bachelor programs that international students can also choose.
Thank you. And Carolyn, also, can you give us a rough percentage of the number of international students at Leiden?
Well, on average across the university, I think mostly we range between about 13 and 15% overall. Of course, in the English taught programs at the undergraduate level, it's much higher, generally between about 30 and 50% international. So it depends on the program per se, of course. So the most international topics are the most international in student body makeup.
Yep.
Okay. And Carolyn, let's talk about the future direction of higher education in The Hague. Where are we headed? What are the current issues and trends?
Well, I think it's actually pretty exciting, certainly from our standpoint. I mean, we already have a few executive masters and the advanced LLMs in The Hague, but I know that we're focusing a lot more on like our Center for Professional Learning and the Academy for Professional Learning. So that means more subjects for professionals. So whether that's a short course or something, a certification like our Certified Public Manager program, or we have an advanced summer program about protecting and detecting and responding to violent extremist threats, for example. This kind of Center for Professional Learning will grow in the future. So I do think that that's going to be exciting. There's going to be, of course, continued focus on innovation, startups, and student entrepreneurships. And of course, growing the partnerships with the city and other stakeholders like the University of Applied Sciences, possibly some new bachelor and master programs for us as well. But I think really there's going to be quite a lot of innovation going on in The Hague in the future. So it's exciting to see.
And this question is for both of you. What makes student life in The Hague distinctive? Why would students, what can attract them to come here? Whoever wants to start.
Well, I'd like to start. I mean, I think there are a few different reasons why students choose The Hague. First of all, as we mentioned before, it's the International City of Peace and Justice. So there are a lot of international organizations present here in The Hague. Also a lot of international companies. And what we also notice is that in terms of international students coming in, is that The Hague is quite a safe city to live in, quite friendly. It's not as touristy as, for example, Amsterdam. And that makes a huge difference in terms of parents allowing the children to go and study somewhere. Besides that, it's a great expat city, as we've all learned today as well. either students who are professionally developing themselves, coming here for their careers and staying here temporarily, and would like to kickstart their career with some professional education, such as an MBA. There are also a lot of international students coming in from abroad, as well as students who are joining their families here in the Netherlands.
How many of these international students end up staying in the Netherlands when they've to find a job, to find work? Do you have any statistics on that? Or...
For The Hague specifically, I don't. I think the last time I checked with NAFIC, it was somewhere along the lines of 5 years down the road, about 30% of international students have stayed after their orientation year. I do know that there's, of course, an interest in increasing that. And that's also one of our focuses at the university, to be able to bring talent in, to have them stay in the city of The Hague and contribute to the society there. And of course, industry and the economy, so to speak. So I think there are a lot of students that, of course, come to The Hague for all the reasons that Manon listed, in terms of all the different organizations and the embassies and the consulates, the NGOs. It's all at their fingertips in The Hague. And a lot of those students would love to stay and work and be a part of that. So I think that's a big reason. Also, The Hague is a wonderful student city, but I think all those things all come together to help students stay.
Okay, thank you. How can potential students get in touch? How can they find out more about your particular universities? Manon first.
Well, of course, they can check our websites, either The Hague Graduate School, where you'd find all the masters and professional courses of The Hague University of Applied Sciences, or our website, thehagueuniversity.com, I think,
yes,
where all of our programs are listed. And of course, you can also get in touch with me through LinkedIn if you're particularly interested, for example, in the MBA.
Yep.
Yeah, and the same goes for Leiden, our website, in the sense of finding all the different types of programs. If you're interested in the research, you want to download the brochures. Of course, you can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all of those channels to get a look and feel about the university. And even our faculties that are active in The Hague have their own options as well. So I think the website is the best place to start for almost any institution in the country, and then sort of go out from there.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us, both Manon Pieper-Swanstra and Carolyn Barr. Thank you for telling us about your universities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.